So I want to really quick, Dylan, Heidi, and Scott, give us a quick, is there anything on the real estate market that's changed? Any kind of an update that's notable? And if not, we'll just kind of skip and we'll talk about the bubble topic. So Dylan, why don't you get us started? Anything new on the Big Island's market?
Yeah, what's notable is that inventory has started to increase for the first time all year. So from January all the way to July, we saw inventory falling all the way to a low of 330 homes. And for perspective, normally there's between like 1,000 and 1,300 homes on the market. And that's just homes, not all types of property. But we saw it fall all the way down to 330 in July, and then it ticked back up in August, and it continues to tick back up in September. So we're back up above 400 right now. So some of that is due to just sellers being unreasonable on price and buyers saying, I've had enough. I'm not going to pay that much more than the house is actually worth. And so we haven't really seen like a big influx of just like, normal property. It's mainly things are sitting on the market longer and not selling. That's why we're seeing more inventory. But this interesting trend there for, after 7 months of just inventories drying up completely, they're starting to come back. But you're muted, Peter.
Thank you. Seems like economic laws of supply and demand are starting to take over, and prices are kind of hitting their thing, and market's coming back. So that's I'm going to take that as a good sign, Dylan. Heidi, what's changing? What's the update in Maui? How's Maui's market looking? And it's been almost a month since we last spoke. So what's been happening?
Well, inventory is still very low over here on Maui. The buyers just keep coming. I mean, there's strong buyer demand. There is at a certain point going to be some price resistance because prices have gone up significantly this past year in a lot of portions of the market. But I mean, we don't see any signs of slowing down in the immediate future because more sales would be taking place if there was more inventory. It's just a matter of inventory on the market. So eventually there'll be more sellers, and perhaps we'll balance out a little, but it's still very much a seller's market, and not for the timid and the weak, but you can still buy in this market and get a good value for what the market is.
Excellent. Thank you, Heidi. Thanks for that update. Scott, what's Oahu's market been like? It's been 30 days. What's kind of happening?
Yeah, we actually hit 2 records both on single family homes and condos this month. I was watching condo inventory just dry up and pending sales on condos going up. Well, and we were trending at 8% price appreciation for condos year to date. Well, this past month we're up 16.8%, and the inventory has dropped down to the same level as single family homes. So we should expect condos to kind of follow the single family home trend. So I expect that 15 to 20% price appreciation moving forward on condos. And I wrote an offer down in Waikiki. And I had mentioned this. I had called the agent. She had like 30 calls for showings within the first 2 days. And this is a condo in Waikiki, which would have been hurt more during the pandemic time. And we ended up $100,000 over asking to get that one in escrow. Single family homes, our inventory is not increasing. And as long as the inventory is not increasing, we're going to still have the same similar price appreciation going forward. I've seen 2 articles about affordability, and that's the main thing that's driving this. Things are still more affordable now by like 35% more than any peak in the previous booms. So affordability is still driving this. People still have money. Interest rates are still really low, so it's doing well. But I even wrote an offer in Kailua the other day. Property was listed at 1.395. We came in at 1.45. We were 9th position out of 11. It went for over 1.5 million cash. So I mean, we're not seeing the slowdown, and that's what we're looking at is multiple offers, significant competition. But I'm getting success. Like I'm getting an escrow. I negotiated 2 different times with buyers for credits and price reductions on sellers. Both were about $5,000. So you can still get something, and you can find value, and you can make it through. You just have to understand the market. We'll get you there and make sure the property is what you think it is.
Excellent. Thanks, Scott. And Auntie Joyce made a comment, a shout out that people need to hire reputable agents like Heidi, Scott, or Dylan. and not get bad advice. Yes, Auntie Joyce, you are. I concur. I concur completely. Yeah, it's an interesting market, Scott. It's interesting. I have to tell you, I know that your stats are correct about affordability, but it's really hard to kind of wrap one's head around the fact that $1 million property in on Oahu is considered affordable, more affordable than it's been in a while. That's just the way it is.
I look for fix-ups and ones that need major repairs, and I'm going, wow, I'm paying. My budget is minimum $1 million because I'm not getting anything under that. Not something I want to work with, and so it's crazy. The other thing that's actually interesting, Japan is starting to ease their restrictions on COVID. They haven't eased it on the quarantine travel restriction yet, but when they do, Ala Moana, Kaka'ako, Waikiki will boom because we're going to get that push from people coming from Asia, especially Japan. That's our biggest market.
Okay, now that's something that's notable, everybody. So I want you all to kind of take in what Scott just said, because he is correct. Well, we don't know if he's correct. He's making a future prediction, so we'll know in about a year whether Scott's prediction is true. But if you look at the trustworthiness and the accuracy of the predictions that we made in the past, it's a pretty good assumption. What you're saying, Scott, I hear you saying is that when Japan and other parts of Asia relax their COVID restrictions, as they all are, we're going to get a lot of those Asian buyers coming into Oahu, a lot of pent-up demand, which means and they like those condos, Waikiki, Kaka'ako condos, more likely than not, demand's going to go up. And when demand goes up, so does price. Is that what you're saying, Scott?
Yeah, exactly.
And not just Asia, everywhere, right? Pretty much we've had zero international travel for
really
almost 2 years, right? And those people still want to buy something. So even with all of the demand that we've had, that's minus international demand, which is a significant amount in most of our markets.
That's an excellent point, Dylan. That is an excellent. Yes, not just Japan. Yeah, very, very.
And
true.
the international buyer, when they come, it's hard to get financing. So a lot of times they're coming with cash or 50% down. So not only are they coming, but they're coming with briefcases of money. Now you've got, not only are you adding more buyers, but now you're adding competition where it's harder to compete. So the sooner you get into the market, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah, those are all really good points. I for some reason, Scott, I just had a memory flash. I imagine Russian mafia guys walking over here with briefcases full of gold bullion, and buying condo in Waikiki for my daughter. I just couldn't help myself on that image. So Scott, Natasha's got a request: keep other buyers away from Kaimuki. Natasha, the only way to keep other buyers away from Kaimuki is you got to buy, girl. That's the way to keep other buyers out, because people are, for better or for worse, people are watching this broadcast and other things. I know Scott and everyone here has got a newsletter, and these things go out in the market, and it is we're not the only ones who know about what's going to be happening. So I recommend all of you kind of figure